Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Screamin'. Welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 news and Lightfall Season of the Wish intel. Now, in my last video, I briefly mentioned how if you're somebody who's not a big fan of Trials of Osiris, you could actually get some free Trials of Osiris loot without actually having to play. Now, I asked the audience to let me know in the comments if this would be something you were interested in knowing about, as I have discussed it in the past, but I do believe at the beginning of every season, some of these things need to be reiterated, as there are always new players to the game, or maybe people who just didn't see the video I made about it last time. So if you're somebody who is not a fan of Trials of Osiris, I know it can get pretty competitive and pretty toxic on the weekends, but you're interested in playing around with the Trials of Osiris loot pool, as there are some great weapons, this is the video for you. This will allow you to get Trials of Osiris loot if you don't play often or ever, and you won't have to play anymore in order to actually acquire it. There are some caveats, we'll discuss them all. But if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on the bell to post notifications so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2 Lightfall content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. Remember, any of those things also enter you into any future giveaways on this YouTube channel, and we do one every 1,000 subscribers, so you never want to miss out. And of course, when we reach 100,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, we'll be giving away an Xbox Series X. If you stick around till the end of the video, I'll have a secret hashtag you can leave in the comments section to be entered into that next giveaway a second time for this video. And remember, those secret hashtags, they stack between all videos. So if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, you can always go back, check out another video, and of course, do it again. So I'm going to be sharing this with you in two parts. We're going to talk about how you actually acquire the loot, what the loot is this weekend for Trials of Osiris, as well as some other daily update information that I think is vital. And then I will show you a clip of how you actually do the process of getting the loot, because there's two different things. There'll be an explanation, and then there will actually be a video tutorial. First off, Saint 14. This weekend actually has something that I think everybody should probably want to try to acquire if you can. We have the new trace rifle that's Strand. I've been using this quite a bit. It actually replaced my Fusion Strand rifle, so this is a real go-to, I think, for all PvE builds. I'm really not sure how well it would play in PvE, or excuse me, in PvP, as I never really used trace rifles in PvP, but in PvE they are a go-to of mine simply because they're kind of taking the place of primary weapons, even though you require actual ammunition for a trace rifle. You never really seem to run out of it, so it's a good option if you're trying to run two special weapons, which I would only suggest doing if one of those two special weapons is a trace rifle. And this one has kill clip on it. It's going to pair great with any Strand build, and you only need to get to rank 10. Now that's where the caveats come in, but also the explanation. There are ways that you can rank up in Trials without actually having to play. Now for people who are on console, I'm not totally sure how this will actually specifically pertain to you, as I felt like it would work the exact same way as people who are playing on PC, but I've heard that there are actual differences based on feedback that I've gotten when I've talked about this in the past, and I just want to make that perfectly clear that there might be some differences in the experience of how you actually acquire said Trials of Osiris loot, whether or not you're playing on PC or playing on console. But the process should be essentially the same up to a point, so we're going to explain that now. Basically, there are ways to rank up by completing bounties for Trials of Osiris without actually having to compete in Trials of Osiris. So, if you are somebody who watches Twitch on occasion, you will notice that there are Twitch streamers that actually play Trials of Osiris or do Trials of Osiris carries every single weekend. Grenader Jake is one. Frostbolt is another. And these particular streamers have what's called viewer bounties enabled. So, if you are somebody who links a Twitch account with a Bungie account, you can actually go to Twitch and you'll notice next to the stream of the streamer that you're watching, the player that you're watching, you'll see viewer bounties. Once you have your accounts linked, you can access these viewer bounties. You get them done simply by watching the streamer, and these count as trials bounties. So they will give you trials reputation. So this is a way in which you can rank up at least the first few ranks without actually having to play in trials. Now, over time, you actually could probably rank up even further if you continue to do this. The problem I see in feedback I've gotten between people who are on PC versus people who are on console is that occasionally the people who are on console say that the accounts won't link. Now, I don't know exactly why that would be, as I'm sure they were made so that everybody can link them. But that might just be a difference in the process, or maybe it was the particular individuals who I was getting the feedback from were just having trouble doing it. There might be more steps to it if you're doing it on a console. But that's essentially how you can get free trials loot without actually having to play trials, simply by watching your favorite streamer do some trials carries and having these viewer bounties, equipped or purchased. You can get free trials loot. Now, because it's early in the season, a lot of people, I'm sure, have not ranked up at all. Based on the feedback I got when I asked you to comment on my last video whether or not this would be something you'd be interested in, a lot of people don't actually play Trials of Osiris, or at least a lot of the people who watch my channel. So this could be a really good bet for you to at least get a few things, maybe some Trials Ingrams, in order to get some of the Trials loot that, like I said, some of it is really, really good. I definitely think the Trace Rifle is the thing everybody should try to get this week, though. And as far as weekly rotations of loot, this is actually one of the ones that I've been looking forward to the most for this season that we're currently in. It's the first time we've actually had a Strand Trace Rifle, I believe. I think it's actually the first time we've had a Trace Rifle in the primary ammo slot. So now I will, at the end of this video, have another video sort of queued up in order to show how you actually access these viewer bounties. I'll show you going to an actual Twitch channel of an actual streamer, and just show you where you can actually see them. But that is going to essentially be it for all the information regarding how you acquire said loot. A couple of the things that I did want to discuss today, and some of them will be leaving 7 hours after the daily reset timer, so depends on what time you see this. Some of this might be available, some of it might not be, but at least for the next 24 hours, the Legendary Lost Sector can be found on Neptune in the Gilded Precept. It's awarding exotic leg armor. So if you've been storing up exotics in your Postmaster, if you have them in escrow because you have a full inventory on your person, now's the day to take them out of your Postmaster and they will decrypt into exotic leg armor. If you're looking for any of these ones, my favorite exotic leg armor at the moment is the Swarmers, which pair very well with that Trace Rifle. Do I have the Trace Rifle on me? I must have put it on my other character. The other thing that I wanted to discuss really quick, and this will be leaving us 7 hours after the daily reset timer, so some people might see this and some people might not. But in a previous video also, I discussed how Banshee 44 occasionally will have a legendary weapon that is glitched. And what I mean by glitched is that it is awarding enhancement cores upon the deletion of every single said weapon. This has happened several times. It's happened with a few different weapons now, but the last weapon that it happened with, which was this bow, is back again. This has been sold now twice in 3 days, and both times it was still awarding enhancement cores. Now you actually have to buy the weapon and delete it, and it'll give you an enhancement core. Let's see if it works still, as it was working yesterday. And as you see, I got an enhancement core. Now, the exchange rate isn't perfect. Obviously, you're losing legendary shards. Legendary shards will be disappearing. I know that they're not disappearing quite as quickly as everybody thought they were going to be, me included. But in any case, that's a great way to do a very easy exchange for enhancement cores if you're looking for it. But remember, all the featured loot will rotate 7 hours after the daily reset timer sets. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for myself. We also have a Cartesian coordinate for sale again. Now, this is not a great roll on this one, but it does show how often this weapon is being sold, and there are some amazing rolls for PvE on this particular weapon. This does have a charge time masterwork, which isn't bad. We also have Swashbuckler. This weapon gains increased damage from melee kills and kills with this weapon. This is actually not a bad trait to have whatsoever. Mine has Vorpal on it, which I would prefer, but this is not a bad one. We have Particle Repeater. What you're really looking for is, I would choose Vorpal for this last slot, and the accelerated coils, so that you actually get a even faster charge time, as well as the charge time masterwork. I've shown my version of this weapon a few times, but just so people know what I'm talking about, this is mine. I have Lead from Gold, Vorpal. And then we also have the accelerated coil, as well as a charge time masterwork. This is insane for burst damage. It's a go-to for me for every PvE activity. Loved it when fusion rifles were actually in the Champions meta. And that is going to be it for all the information in today's video. Here is that clip of how you actually access the viewer bounties, if you choose to do so. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on the bell to post notifications so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2 Lightfall content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. And if you've watched till this point in the video, you can leave a hashtag Trials of Osiris, or a hashtag Lightfall, or a hashtag Season of the Wish in the comments section for another entry into that next giveaway for this video. Remember that secret hashtag. I do it on every video, and they stack between all videos, so if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, you can always go back, check out another video, and of course, do it again. And once more, I'm Wilhelm Scream. Thanks so much for watching, as always, and of course, we will see you next time.